welcome back to my channel, The Inked Reader, Eva here. I'm here to do my September wrap-up. Now, as always, I've just came back from work, I just have very little time to film, and as always, my reading month in August didn't go as planned. I'll go into more details when I do the wrap-up for August. However, in September I have to do a lot of damage control. If you're new here, you might not know that I actually have kind of a strict TBR each month that consists of 9 books as of now. However, there were a lot of books that when I went on holiday didn't take with me, so I need to catch up with stuff. I need to finish a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna explain a tiny bit while I go through my choices for September. But many of these books that you're gonna see in a second are books that you already seen, basically, just because I didn't get around to actually properly finish them. So for my fantasy TBR, where I'm reading a book in a fantasy genre for each subgenre of fantasy, I am actually planning to complete and read in September the book that I never got around to finish in July, which is The Consumption of Magic by T.J. Klune, which is book number 3 in a quartet by him. This is a humoristic fantasy, and it's about Sam, who is the apprentice of the official wizard of the king. So he's gonna become Sam, the wizard for the prince, when the prince becomes king next. And he happens to be, though, in love with the betrothed of the prince, who is the captain of the guards. And there are unicorns, and there are a bunch of other magic creatures. It's very queer, it's very hilarious. I loved the first 2 books, and I don't know why I never got around to actually read these. It's just that it's quite dense, and I was doing a million of other stuff in the last couple of months while I'm struggling basically to finish my thesis by mid-September, so I never found a chance to actually sit down and properly enjoy this, because this is a very well-loved series by me. I just want to, get some time out and focus on these. For my Europe TBR, I am actually in the process of reading The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I'm around 600 pages in, and I've got 600 more pages to go. So instead of picking up a new book, I decided that for September I'm gonna focus on finishing this. I'm reading this in Italian, so that's why this is the Italian cover. But basically with my European TBR, I read a book by an author for each country in Europe, and then I'm gonna move on to a new continent when I'm done with Europe. So it's not like a 12 months, 12 books to read. TBR is like 52 books overall that I will have to read. So even if I don't read a new book each month, yes, I'm getting behind, but it's not like a fixed 12 books TBR as some of my other TBRs are. For my horror TBR, I'm gonna read the last book that I had to read in that TBR, which was made up of 10 books, I believe. And this is 12 Nights at Rotter House, and I believe this is about this author who focuses on writing books about creepy places. So he decides to go to this Rotter House and invite a friend with whom he had fallen off, and they're gonna spend 2 weeks ideally in this house, and they're gonna mend their friendship, and they are gonna hopefully survive these 2 weeks in this very creepy house where a lot of people died. For my finishing series, I've actually a couple of books left to read, and again I'm gonna go with the picks that I never got around to actually read in July, which is 5 Ways to Fall by K.A. Tucker. Sorry, I apologize, outside there are like a million people taking a walk at this time of the day, so it's very noisy. But going back to the books, yes, this is a final book in a 5 books companion series by K.A. Tucker, which is like a new adult series, romance. I don't read many of those, so I kind of struggle to read them, although I love K.A. Tucker new adults. I don't read many, but usually it's one of hers when I read one, basically. So I'm gonna try, and once I'm finishing my current commute book, to probably focus on this and bring this on the train. So if I don't have any alternative, I'll probably get around to read this, and probably it's gonna be okay. I just read a couple of chapters and I didn't mind them. I'm just not at the moment, I used to read a lot of romance, but not anymore, so I'm struggling to actually pick one up. But I decided that either I read this month or I DNF it, because there is no point for me to just drag this on and on and on. Either I'm okay with reading these, either I don't care and I just give up. For my Japanese horror, I had 12 books in that TBR. However, one of these books that was in my TBR is basically impossible to find. So I decided that instead of reading 12, I am gonna carry on the book that I was supposed to read in August, which is Parasite Eve, that I have on my Kindle and I'm reading on my commute. And instead of, struggling for weeks to find the one that it's not available in England, at least I'm just gonna focus on the 11 I can find, and it's fine, of that TBR, one won't be read. Hopefully in the future, if I ever get around to find a copy somewhere, I'll read it. But as of now, my Japanese horror choice is still gonna be the same as August, which is Parasite Eve. I'm kind of like 20% through it, so I will definitely read the majority of it in September. The premise of Parasite Eve is that this scientist, he loses his wife after a car accident, and he decides to take her liver to make her come back to life, something of the sort. It's not very clear. I'm 20% in at the moment, but it's still not clear where this is going, although I guess it's gonna be kind of a creepy sci-fi weird thing, basically, which doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. I'll give you a synopsis once I'm done with it. For my non-fiction, I'm gonna read In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park. And for my non-fiction, I had a preset TBR, so I always chose one randomly. And I own these for a while now. It's quite short and I'm really eager to get around to it. And this is a biography of the author who escaped from North Korea when she was a child. And her experiencing of living there and escaping from there. For my true crime, I'm still reading Devil's Knot. I'm not done with it. I just started this a few days before the end of the month. Because I didn't take this on holiday with me, so I came back at the end of August and I just had a few books that I didn't get around to finish. So I'm finishing these, which is the story of Memphis 3, and also I'm gonna read People Who Eat Darkness. I've ordered that on Amazon, so it's on its way, and this is the story of this girl who went to Japan. I don't know if it was for a trip or for work or whether, and then she was killed. And I guess the family or a journalist, again I don't remember properly, they go to Japan and try to figure out what happened to this girl and if there is a serial killer behind or what's going on, basically. Now I will also have to go around to read A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This was a jar pick, a random jar pick for the month of July weather, and I've just read a few pages and it's okay. I don't think at the moment that I want to DNF it, but it's a possibility because I never reach for it, so I'm gonna give it another try this month. And again, if I struggle, that's it. I'm not gonna push myself forward. I can just DNF it and watch the series if I want to, but yeah, I'm getting around to reading these. And for my Disco Board series, I still have to finish Unseen Academicals by Terry Pratchett. This was the Disco Board series pick for August, which again I never brought with me on holiday. So when I came back, I didn't have time to finish it. But I will also have to read another one in the series, which is I Shall Wear Midnight, I believe, which is part of the Tiffany Aching series. The reason why I need to read 2 books in September is because I was planning to finish the whole series by December. So unless I read 2 books this month, I won't be finishing because I still have 4 books to read, plus these. So I'm reading 2, hopefully. I plan to read 2. And finally, we've got my random TBR jar pick for a month. And let's see, I'm not gonna make a mess, I'm just gonna randomly, honestly, pick one. Oh, The Rosie Effect. Yeah, The Rosie Effect is the sequel to The Rosie Project, and I cannot give you a synopsis for the second one, of course. It's kind of a contemporary book, and in the first book you've got this geneticist who has, I think, Asperger, so he's got high functionality autism, and he has struggled to find a partner, and then finally meets Rosie, who's very, very much different from him, but they meet and something clicks in the first book. So it's their story. I enjoyed the first one enough. It was probably 3.5, and I found this in a charity shop in very good condition, so I decided to pick it up. I'm gonna give it a try and see. So how likely is this gonna happen? I don't know. I just know that if I wanna kind of sort of achieve my goal, reading goal for the year, in terms of all the TBRs I put out, I should get around to read all of these. But I know myself, and I tend to fail my reading plans. But finger crossed, I will at least try my best to read as much as possible. A couple are missing, so actually are more than just these. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Probably I'm gonna do my wrap up for August. Have a lovely day, people. Wish me good luck, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!